Just think. I need a class. Maybe you could derive from it, or I think you need to set it to some value and test it and increment. Let's call this raw value or type, I mean, binding index. And then I want to make a class binding. And then we derive that from something general, like, let's call it interval. Interval begin end. Well, binding starts at 0, and the end is let's say 1 past the end, so just 3. However, interval is going to deduce the type, the underlying type, from whatever I pass. So I don't want to pass a 0, I want to bind a binding index that is 0. Let's just define those things. This is a header, but I can use a static cons expansion. Let's call this binding begin. We can construct it from a 0. Well, we still have to add a type. Now we can use that. Yeah, I think that should work. Okay, now I need to define the index. Sorry, interval. Interval.h. Pragma wants template type name t. Class interval. Nah, not the type name. It's a value. I'm not even sure I can pass. I don't think I can do that. Wait, can I do that? You can pass arbitrary types. So you can also pass integral values. I'm not sure I can. I don't think I can do that. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know how to do that. You can do, you know, I can do int begin and int end. But I don't want to be using int. I want to infer the type from whatever is being passed, and I have the feeling that's not possible. Let's do it differently. Let's just pass the type. So that would be the index. Let's call it an index. And then just store. Hello everyone. The chat. Interval. Let's just store the begin and end here. I'm starting to dislike my M prefix. If I switch now, I would be switching like after using M underscore for 20 years. No, 15 I think. Maybe even 10. But it's still, no matter how you look at it. I think I need a very good reason to switch. I just dislike it. So I can either choose between begin or, and that is my new idea, well, the new possibility, just put an underscore at the end. I like this one. I like it more actually, except that it doesn't say begin. Does it say begin? Say begin, doesn't it? No, let's not change it yet. I don't know. Yeah, I feel it coming. Change. So I'm going to making another change. I always put the private stuff at the top and then the public lower. And just since yesterday, suddenly I feel like changing that as well. Put the private stuff at the bottom. I mean, I know loads of people do that. And it's just a style, of course, but still. It has some merit to it, I think. Okay, so we do it this way. Yeah, like this const, I guess. I mean, it's not like I'm going to change it. Well. Yeah, okay. So what was I doing? I was working on binding. Binding includes interval. Now I'm having it like that, but this now has changed into that, and we need to add a constructor then. I want to have a default constructor. So, but now the base class must be being passed begin and end. That should work. Let me see if I did something super stupid. No, apparently not. Now the trick here is that I want to do that for everything that is using a vector index. So let's do grab L, the vector index in any header, and we're gonna peek at that and change the other one, other two, I guess. Now, since I don't have a memory, I'm just going to copy everything, so I don't have to remember it. Script.type, yeah. Type index, that's the trick. Now it's the beginning and the end of my descriptor type. Descriptor type begin. I think I can do is just 2. I really have to keep the total numbers small because I'm gonna get billions of possibilities in the end, since I'm gonna brute force everything. Just 2 different types should be sufficient, I think. Yeah. Okay. So binding. Oops. Binding must become. Script type. What the hell? My mouse is broken again. And then we have a binding here, which must become no, binding script type. Okay, and then let's copy this again. I can just copy this, I think. And then we go to the last file. Oh, the one was already called index. Yeah, and now I get binding becomes a set index. And I think I can do this. Do this one. No, it just did it on one line. It's not nice of it. Put a Shift V and one down, and now I have to. No, it doesn't want to do it. Okay, I'll have to type it again. What the hell? I'll just do it manually. Set index. My mouse button wasn't broken, but the rest. Okay, how many set indexes do I want to have? 2 or 3, but which? I'm gonna go with 4-3 because I'm not sure. Okay, now we can go back to interval. We add two functions, next and well, a reset. Now I also need an actual value, the current value. Let's add, let's just call reset here. It's kind of stupid. Yeah, I could initialize m value here to begin, but I'm going to explicitly call reset instead, and then we set value to begin. And next must be a boolean. And that returns true or false. It returns false if we could not increment it anymore. Let's increment it anyway. And then if the result is less than mend, then it was successful. Now, I don't think this works for an empty interval. So if begin equals end, now we begin immediately with a value that is not allowed. But yeah, it's not allowed, basically. I guess I could add an assert. Let's do that. H. It's never going to happen because I just wrote all the code that constructs this from const values that were none of those intervals was empty, but okay. Okay. Next, let's have a look at the header files that use this. Let's say binding. I don't know. Grep -L binding. I have to leave in. Yeah, I have to leave in at most for half an hour, unfortunately. Going to visit my parents again. Declaration, which one? One of these, the simplest one. So look at all of them. This one has a binding, that's also nice. Oh, pointers. Oh, no pointers yet, please. Script type int. Oh, okay. Yeah. Guess I could do this one. And that's not even a binding, really. Choose the one in the middle. So I already looked at I changed binding now to be an interval and descriptor type. But shadow flags and int are not yet done. I think that descriptor count is currently an int. It's no longer possible. It must be an object. Shader stage flags. Okay, let me just do the descriptor count. The number of descriptors contained in the binding. Yeah, so array size. Yeah, okay, well. I think I need 3 values, but there's gonna be a special value. So maybe -1, 0 and 1. No, I don't like 0. So if it is 1, then it's just a variable, not an array. If it's 2, then it's an array. It's the size of 2. And it can also be an unbound array. And let's use -1 for that. So we skip 0. It's not really an interval then. I'll just go it like that. To make it a really special class, as it were. Yeah, descriptor count. So we need a default constructor with stuff, and we need something to store our state in. Or let's call it a count. Let's say that no. Let's say -1, an unbound array. 1 not an array. Otherwise, the size of the array. Hello, Lil D. Carlo, can you please do an algorithmic problem for me? No, I'm busy. Plus, I'm doing an algorithmic thing today, but I don't think I have time to even get to it. But I did design in the multi-iterator, so just implementing it now. Descriptor count. I'm gonna have a reset. Yeah, anything goes, I guess. Let's put it at -1, and then we're gonna have a next. So if we are already an array, then we cannot do anything else. If mcount equals -1, well, then in all other cases we can succeed. And if mcount equals -1, I want to set it to 1. And otherwise we set it to some size. No, here I can put anything I want. Let's make it an array of 7. Does it really matter? 3 different values. Yeah, -1, 1 and 7 in this case. Okay. So now binding descriptor type and descriptor count all have a next and a reset member. Now the shader stage flags doesn't yet, so let's work on that one. Oh, that's a bitset. Yeah, so I'm gonna brute force stuff, which means that I'm gonna run over every possible value. So this simply depends on the number of stages that I have, and then I have to set the bits for that. So I guess I'll make it I'll have to make a new class as well for these. It should be possible to make this an interval, isn't it? Index, it's a bitset index. Which does this, which is based on index POD, which is just a wrapper around an integer type. So yeah, let's begin with that one. We're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to call this index and then redefine it. And then we'll derive it from interval with the actual type. Is this how it worked? Already forgot again. Damn it, man. Let's go look at binding again. What was I just editing? The stage flags. Okay. Like that. I'll still need these. Okay, static cons expressions. Oh, let's copy it anyway. Substitute binding becomes shader stage flag bits, I think. Close enough. The number of bits is just equal to the number of stages then, right? Which happens to be defined in stage.h. And I'm not sure I can include that, but let's attempt that. So this is the shader stage flag bits now has become index, and then I redefine it as a class that is derived from interval of that type, and we pass a begin and an end. And now it's an interval that runs from 0 till the number of stages. Although I think suddenly I'm silly because I probably I'm not using this anywhere in any header. Ugh. So it was all nonsense. Huh? Oh yeah. She was there. Nah. And here. I'm still not convinced. Something is wrong here. Okay, compiler will tell me, I guess. So let's go back to what I really need. What's the shader stage flags, which I still didn't change yet. I don't think I should be using interval, although it kind of is an interval, but I want it to behave like, maybe that's a problem. I want it to be, the thing must still behave like that. So I think I just should derive from this. Okay, I think that yeah. Now I'm thinking about if I want to use the 0 at all. Shader stage flags. That would mean that I would be testing having script set layout binding that cannot be used in any stage at all. Doesn't make any sense. Maybe, but probably not really related to what I want to test. So let's run over having one bit set at least. So I guess I'll just set the bit set to 1. Bit set. You can construct a bit set from an index. Construct a bit set with a single bit. Would work. Or I can directly construct it from a POD. It's maybe also good. Okay, let's make a POD type first. That would be my begin then. Let's say static const expression. Bitset POD, which is defined in namespace util simply. The same type as that. So we have a single bit set. Still confusing. How do I set it? So I have a class derived from Bitset. I just have derived protected from Bitset POD. So I can access bitmask directly when I think about it. Is that more logical? In which case we don't need this. And then here as well, just increment it. And now we return false. No, let's return false before that. Let's return false if it, no, wait. How many bits did I want? Oh yeah, the number of stages. So if I increment it and it becomes a 1 with a number of stages zeros, then we are at the end. Just for inspiration, I have to look at my bit set again. Theoretically, I could use this and have to convert the number of stages at least to an index. I could put this inside the class. Maybe more logical. Index. We have an index here. And that index can be constructed from an index POD. Is that all? Might as well use an index POD directly then. Yeah, like that. Okay. Yeah, so the number of stages bit has index, and if that bit is set, then definitely just got to pass the end, and then we have to return false, so like that. I'm still not happy with this one. Yeah, let's not use interval. This is just an index. Okay, what do you think? Reset must set that to the begin value, and now we're having simply an zero stage flag index here. I'm not even sure I need this at all. But might as well. So the zero stage index is index starts at 0, so I can use index begin. then the index is 0. No, it must be easier. Just setting it to 0. Yeah, it's the derived class thing again. I'll just have to assign it directly. It's sad but true. I'm afraid that it's just a thing that makes most sense here. Yeah, and I don't really like hard-coded values, but number of stages are hardly hard-coded. And a 0, I'm just gonna delete this. So now they are hard-coded as a 0 and number of stages, instead of using additional constants. I don't know what I did wrong. Let's see if this still compiles. Nope. Zero states flag bits does not name a type. It should, if I include this. And I am. To circular header dependency. Main includes pipeline layout, includes descriptor set layout. Descriptor set the binding. Yep, that's wrong. You cannot include stage.h from shader stage flags because stage.h then includes shader stage flags again, so these two include each other. I think I'm just gonna remove this stage here then. Yeah, and the number of stages, yeah. To hell with it, it's just a test. I'm gonna duplicate it. That can go wrong. The whole idea is not to do that. I can just move it, because this includes shader stage flags. Ta-da! Yeah, like that, no, like that, no. Where did it come from? Here? Okay, so that's fixed, I think, pretty much. And there was another error. Index POD and inside utils are not named a type. Really? It's probably in Bitset. I'm gonna Bitset. Use a gamble that's the thing here. I could not convert ID from bracing close initializer list to shader stage flags. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, okay, I guess if I want this, I don't even know if I want this, but if I want this, then I'll have to, you know, keep all the constructors of the base class. And this one has a default constructor. So I want to replace the default constructor, but keep the rest. I'm very curious to see if we can do this using repeat the whole type and then the name of the constructor, and then redefine the default constructor. Could not convert Bitset LSSBI, which stands for the least significant bit index. What is that S? Nobody knows. If T is unsigned int from no, the same thing. Now for the bits. Well, apparently that trick worked, so we'll just do the same trick here. So this copies all the for it doesn't do copy it, but if now we try to use the constructor of this class with arguments that occur in the base class, then it will call the base class constructor and simply skip. I mean, nothing else needs to be initialized here. Then, I mean, what? M index? Yeah, M index is part of the base class, so it should work. Unfortunately, indexPOD is an inaccessible base of the util's Bitset index. Okay. Well then, to go to my parents, it's time. It's time to leave. Why is this not compiling? In static member function, static shader states flag bit states mask to ID. Okay. Bitset index POD is an inaccessible base of util's Bitset index. Why does it point me to the inaccessible, whatever it would want to call? Seems to be missing information. Yeah, it just doesn't say it. So I have to dig from here. So I'm having a shader stage flag bits and I'm passing the result of LSSBI. That is an index. I'm passing an index to shader stage flag bits. You would say that's going to simply call the copy constructor. This one. But instead it chooses to use that one. It seems. And you cannot, because then it needs to convert index to index POD, which is not allowed because index POD is protected. I'm going to add explicit here. Maybe that at least will shine a light on why it doesn't use this one. As far as I can see it, I'm passing an index, right? An index to an index constructor. That should be using this one. Very strange. Okay, the reason that it tried to use the other one is because it cannot convert index POD to index. But I don't think I have an index POD. That's what I don't get. This is now a different error. This is the index POD, yeah. Literally constructor. Okay, it does not want to go from this POD to this index anymore. I think I introduced a new error. Because I made it explicit. So now you cannot just return it and then have it implicitly be converted. I must explicitly state that I want to convert it to an index before returning it. No matching function for call to shader stage flags test const equals bitset index POD. Candidate test index. Adding that explicit was not a good idea. In the end, I hope it's going to tell me what is wrong in the other place, but in the meantime I have introduced a billion other problems. So test here takes an index, but not an index POD. Isn't this the error that we had with the LSSBI? Could not convert Bitset T LSBI cons with T is unsigned int and index that from utils bitset unsigned int index, aka utils bitset index to shader states flag bits. Why not? In initiation of bitset index utils required from here. Error converting to utils bitset unsigned int index, aka utils bitset index from initializer list would use explicit constructor. No! Tell me why you don't use the copy constructor. Got to be kidding me. Well, sure as hell another cast is missing here. This is inside Bitset. It's... what the fuck? This is the error, and it just simply says I cannot convert from index to shader states flag bits. So I'm gonna tell it a little bit more, with a little bit more force. Dude, I want it. And now tell me why you can't do it. Not just I can't do it. No, tell me why you can't do it. Suddenly it's index POD is inaccessible base. Who's talking about index POD here? Argument 1 of it's using this inherited from Bitset. What the hell? We are back to square one. The LSSBI is not returning an index POD, isn't it? It's just refusing to tell me why it doesn't want to construct this from an index itself. I need to switch compiler. But in the meantime, I just have to drop everything and go to my parents. Otherwise, you know. Sorry guys.